If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number 1, it's free. Number 2, it's free. But it's so simple. You simply record your content. If you would like, you can add music to your content and publish it. It is just that simple. What are you waiting for? Let's get started today. Welcome to My Truth Official with your host, Soulflower. Join me every week as I share wisdom, light, guidance, and truth. If you have arrived here, you are definitely in the right place, and love has guided you here. The truth can be brutal, difficult to hear, and painful to accept. Yet I believe that the truth is absolutely necessary. Thank you for allowing me to serve you with love and truth. The truth doesn't need explanation. It either is or it isn't, or it isn't, or it isn't, or it isn't. Rich Rising Kings and Queens, gods and goddesses. It's Monday. Welcome to episode 68. Yes. I know that I have done things a little out of order. I have recorded some podcasts and I haven't released them because I need to edit them. Yesterday, I had my first podcast. I recorded my first podcast with a guest host, and that was really, really exciting. And as soon as I can get that edited, I will get that posted. I learned a lot from that podcast yesterday. I learned a lot. Podcast, like doing a podcast or doing a show with a co-host is way far different than doing a podcast with yourself, right? Timing, I found out, is everything. And I say timing, I mean that in terms of where you not interject, or where you hop in and say something when you don't hop in and say something. I learned a lot yesterday. I am so appreciative for that sister for coming on and doing that with me. That was amazing. And like I said, I just have to edit that podcast and get it up so you guys can listen. I think, like, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot from that experience. Like I said, being on a episode with someone is far different from when you're alone. Timing is everything. You have to know when to interject. You have to know not even interject. You have to know when you can hop in. You have to know when to be quiet. So it was interesting, and I'll get that posted soon. So today I wanted to talk about I don't want to say New Year's resolutions, because I hate when we set New Year's resolutions, because you just put so much pressure on yourself. You know what? You put a lot of pressure on yourself. So, I just kind of wanted to go over and talk about some of my, let's just say top 5 plans. They're not New Year's resolutions. They are plans for, the up and coming year. One is that, how I've been starting to do this actually, even as we're coming closer to the end of the year, which we only got a couple weeks and a wake up, right? And we're going to be out of 2021 and into 2022. And I have recently just started to get rid of things that I haven't used. Like if it's been sitting somewhere and I haven't used it or had a need to use it, it's taking up space. So you should throw those things away. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Clothes that I know I'm just not going to wear anymore. I want a whole new wardrobe, so I'm starting to get rid of clothes that I'm not going to wear anymore. So I've been doing that. Just getting organized, get rid of some things. And I was just thinking this morning how I think that relationships, stagnant relationships, kinships, whatever the ship, if you're not benefiting from it, if you don't feel better, if these situations, relationships don't make you feel better, and it's constantly a drag on your energy, as sad as it may be and as tough as it may be, it's time to let those relationships go. If it's been the same interaction for 10, 15, 20 years, every time you see somebody, family, friend or not, it's the same boring ass, combative energy. It's time to let those relationships go. I am not going to waste not another day, second, minute of my life being in discord with anybody. I'm going to send you away with love, right? I'm going to send you away with love. I'm not trying to find out what's wrong. None of that, right? None of that. I'm just not. So that's how I feel about that. That's one of the things that I'm going to do moving forward. I'm not arguing with people who don't know who the F they are. I'm just not going to do it. I am every day, becoming clearer and clearer on what it is that I want to do, right? I knew that the things that I wanted to do were all spiritual in nature. They all have something to do with healing on some level. And I always kept saying, I want to have a wellness center. I want to have a wellness center. I want to have a wellness center. But at the same time, I know that I'm also being called to be a wellness minister. So I've been trying to find out, what does that mean? What really does that mean? And what does that look like? Because I've never heard of anything like this before. So what does a wellness ministry look like? So that's starting to come to me. The vision is getting a little clearer, and I know what it is that I desire to do. And I think a lot of times we keep asking the divine, the Most High, the Creator, the ancestors for measly blessings, right? And they just I ain't gonna grant that. I'm not gonna give that to you because I want you to aim higher. A lot of times when I do my readings, the cards are always saying, set your sights higher, aim higher, 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 higher. I don't know how many times I had to see these cards to get it, right? So it absolutely will be my wellness ministry, my healing, etc., etc., but it's going to be on a grander scale. And that is, I think we just keep, I've talked about before, reaching for the low-hanging fruit or the fruit that's hanging at the bottom of the tree because that's easy to access. That's easy and that's accessible. How about we reach for higher heights? Give them something that will really blow your mind. Give the universe, give your ancestors something that will really blow your mind when you realize, whoa, I'm living in my prayer. I'm living in my desires. I'm living in my dream. This is a dream and now it's here, right? Stop asking for money. Let's be honest. If you say, I want this amount of money so I can do this, you're going to do a whole lot of other shit with that money. You're going to do everything that you're not supposed to do with that money. So I'm starting to really wrap my mind around this. Also, I said for 2022, I'm going to get in the best physical shape of my life. I look at Gammy Morris. Norris, is it Norris or Morris? Jada Pinkett Smith's mom. Goals. So ridiculous. and I want to see my abs. So that is what I'm going to be working towards in 2022 as well. I want to write and complete my book, The Journey of 10. And The Journey of 10, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that, is a story about the women in my life, past and present. Like how our lives are intricately connected, how even though they weren't maybe around us for long, they weren't in our lives for long, because some of them transitioned when we were old enough to, by the time we were old enough to understand their experiences, but we're living the same lives. They were living our lives and we're living their lives. We're having the same experiences. So it's just a book about generational curses and repetitive life lessons, if you will, that keep happening over and over, generation after generation. And I just want to speak to that. And I want my book to be a guide to show women what to look for, and men to show us what to look for, what we need to break, what curses we need to break. It's just the time that we need to know, and we need to start sharing our stories. We need to talk about our stories and stop being embarrassed. Like, it doesn't matter if your family came from wealth or whatever. That doesn't mean just because you got money, your ass ain't dysfunctional. And those are the things that we don't talk about. Like, we all want to talk about magical shit, and we all want to talk about doing readings, and we all want to talk about I'm this, I'm that. No, what you are is broken, right? And until you heal and put yourself back together completely, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a healer. It doesn't matter if you're a medium. It doesn't matter if you're a god or a goddess. A god or a goddess can heal themselves. So we have to start doing the emotional work, and we have to heal. And we can no longer keep colliding into people in our brokenness, because two broken people are not going to do nothing but cut the shit out of each other. That's all that's going to happen. So that's another thing that I set the intention that I'm going to do in 2022. So get myself in the best physical shape I have ever been in. I want to be healthy. Like, I also plan on being going raw vegan. And a raw vegan is someone who does not cook their food. Their food is not heated. Everything that you eat is raw, right? And I went to my acupuncturist. I haven't been in a while, and I need to make an appointment to go see her. And I can't remember, because I think she told me that I need to eat more red foods, like beets and things like that. And I cannot remember if she said that I needed to heat my food or if I could eat my food cold. So that'll be the determining factor. But either way, I'm changing the way I eat. And I think it's going to be difficult because I live in the Midwest, and there's farms around here, but they grow corn and shit, corn and things like that. So, but I don't necessarily know, because they're tampering with our food so bad right now. I don't know if the vegetables that we do have access to, the fruits and vegetables that we do have access to, if any of it is actual, the fruits and vegetables that we used to eat when we were kids. I don't think these fruits and vegetables have the same nutritional value that it did back then. I remember we used to have a garden when I was younger, and at lunchtime we went to the garden, we picked up some tomatoes, we picked up some cucumbers, we went inside, we washed them off, and we got us some salt and some pepper, some vinegar or whatever, and we ate it. Like, this is a whole new time. So that's one thing I want to do. That's the other thing that I want to do. And then also, lastly, there's two things. I am going to travel more. I'm going to travel. I want to go to Mexico. No, not to like Puerto Vallarta or no commercial ass place. I want to go to some spiritual retreats. So I want to do that in 2022. Now I want to, I shall, I will, I'm claiming it. And I am also planning to move from the area that I presently reside. I want to move to another state. So there's a lot. I have a lot packed in place for 2022. But 365 days is a very long time to accomplish all your goals. All you have to do is set your mind to it, set a plan, and execute. So you plan your work and you work your plan. I am going to, probably within the next couple weeks, host a virtual vision board workshop. It'll be free. I'm not going to charge anybody. And so we all can work on setting ourselves up for success in the year to come. You can't be successful if you don't know what your plan is. You don't know what it is that you're working towards. So that is something that I definitely want to do. And like I said, it's going to be virtual. So be on the lookout for that. I'll put that all over my social media pages. Whoever comes. Whoever doesn't. But it's going to be a good experience. So I will let you know in advance the supplies that you need, and I will keep you posted on that. So that's kind of how we have to start walking in purpose. When you hear somebody say, I'm walking in purpose, you're walking in purpose because you have a plan. Stop being just a participant an unwilling participant in your life, and start planning the direction that you're headed and where you want to go. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. You know I love you. It's Monday. It's Monday. I'm trying to motivate on Mondays. So that's what I want to share with you today. We're the ones. You know I love you. We moving up like elevators. Grow in peace. Love. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to support My Truth Official, please share it with others. Post about it on your social media. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on IG at mytruthofficial.com. You can join my Facebook group with the other Trubians. Be a part of this Trubian Soul Tribe, where we can discuss these topics further. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your perspective. I will see you guys next time. You know I love you. Thank you for listening. Join me next week. Grow in peace. Love.